Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review, and today we are jumping into the world of Halo as we take a look at this very excellent 3-pack. Alright, so this is from Jazzwares. It's part of their World of Halo action figure toy line. If you're familiar with Jazzwares Halo figures, they actually have two toy lines right now. There's the Spartan collection, which is the much more premium action figures, and those come in at like a 6-inch scale. And then there's this line of toys, which is the World of Halo. They're smaller figures. They're described as being a 4-inch scale action figure, with many of the figures ranging anywhere between like 4 inches to maybe like 5. This set here, I feel like you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. This set features larger characters like Tovaras and Hyperius, and the box is considerably a lot heavier than some of the other multi-figure packs. So let's get started. So yeah, there's 3 figures featured in this set. We have Tovaras with the scrap cannon. We have Master Chief. I guess this is kind of emulating him when he's kind of like cloaked in stealth mode. We have Hyperius with the Ravager. As you can see here, behind the figures, there's 3 additional figure stands, and great set. It's looking awesome. On the back, we have the World of Halo. Here are some of the other figures that are currently out. Here are the individual figures, so you can find these single-carded. There's the Hero and Villain 2-packs. And as you can see also, some of these figures are released multiple times. Like for example, you could buy Tovaras not only in this set right here, but you can also buy him in a double pack with Master Chief. There's also the vehicle sets, which are awesome. Alright, starting off real quick, let's talk about the display stands. So this comes with 3 display stands, a display stand for each figure. As you can see here, different designs for each one. This one's grass, this one's grass and mud, and this one's a rocky surface texture. Just to let you know, if you've been collecting this line since the beginning, they've actually changed the design of the display stands. The newer stands have all the copyright information on the back. These were made 2020. Let me get some older stands so I can show you what the differences are. Okay, so these are 2 of the older stands from maybe, I believe, possibly Series 1. If you look at the stands on Series 1, underneath, there's a tab, and then there's like a small notch here. So these stands are interlocking. You just line them up to their appropriate keys and keyholes, and then they lock into place. Now there was a flaw in the design with the original stands. Because of this little tiny lip right here, once you had the stands connected, it did not allow you to connect a 3rd stand in the corner, just because the way it was designed. So that was kind of a flaw in the original display stands that came like in Series 1. A little bit later, I'm not sure when, but they redesigned the stands, and that little lip that was located right here, they removed it. So the lip was removed on the newer stands right there. So it added more versatility to the stands. So instead of coming in at an angle and twisting, you could simply attach the stands coming in from the top or bottom and locking them in. And with the removal of that lip, it allows you to actually attach a third stand in the corner, like that. So the stands are improved upon with the later sets, and that's a much welcome change. But you can still kind of, like, if you wanted to, find ways to incorporate the older stands. You know, you don't necessarily have to lock them into place. If anything, you could just abut the edges together. And the more figures you buy, the more stands you'll have in your collection, so that's always a plus. So these are wonderful. I love these a lot. All right, moving on to the figures. First impressions of the figures while they're in the tray. Very, very impressed. I'm liking these a lot. As I mentioned earlier, these are larger figures, and so this feels a lot heavier. It really feels like you're getting your money's worth, and besides having such giant figures, they also come with these giant weapons. So that's awesome. Alright, let's review these one at a time. Let's start with Tovaras. Alright, so we have Tovaras here, and we have a scrap cannon. One thing you'll notice with Tovaras is that his helmet's removable. He has a wonderful mohawk sculpted on the top of his head. Really clean build for the figure. The armor looks well crafted. The paint application for the most part is pretty clean. He has some great detailing on his face. There's some highlighting, there's some shading. So it really adds volume and realism to the character. Here's a look at his back. As you can see, there's a little bit of micro scratching and battle damage on his armor, which just adds a little bit more to the realism of the figure. Let's get his helmet back on. And he comes with a scrap cannon. Nice burly weapon. As you can see, there's the handle in the back and the handle in the front. So if you can wield it, let's get him in place. It's kind of a tight fit. Yeah, his fingers right now, they don't want to bend all that well. It's a new figure. And then you can have him hold it with the other hand up here. So yeah, that's Tovaras with his scrap cannon. Very, very intimidating. Very, very impressive. You know, you put him at the forefront of your banished army, and you know he's gonna give the Marines a run for their money. Now, in terms of Tovaras's, let's take a look at his articulation. In terms of his articulation, his head rotates. His head rotates. I believe he can look up, I think. It's very limited. He can only move his head so far back because of his hair, and it's just a tight joint also. His arms, they rotate. They go out. They're ratcheted, so it's nice and clicky. Elbow swivel, elbow bend, wrist articulation. He has waist swivel. He could kick forward. He could kick out, but his armor is going to hit his waist, so it's kind of hindered. Double pinned knees, so he has double jointed knees. Ankle articulation. So I had this issue with Isharam, and this ankle joint is kind of hard to move. because the socket is actually on the foot towards the back of the heel. The socket for the foot isn't directly in the middle. So this ankle joint's kind of difficult to move if it's being stubborn. There we go. Great figure. Height-wise, let's measure this guy out. Is this upside down? No, okay. Height-wise, Tovaras comes in at about 5.5 inches. Definitely one of the larger and taller figures in the line. You know, I think he's about the same size as a Sharam. Alright, let's set this guy aside for now. Up next, let's take a look at Hyperius with his Ravager. Alright, his weapon comes in 2 pieces. Let me try to assemble it correctly. I'm trying to figure this out. Or wait, I take it back. I think this is... Right, I got confused for a second. For some reason, I thought that this attached. I forgot this was his jump pack. So, big rectangle socket in the back, rectangle tab, and just kind of conform it to the edges. It should lock into place. It's kind of a snug fit. I kind of wish the tab was a little bit longer because it's kind of short. So I have a feeling that, you know, this thing might just occasionally just pop off. Am I doing this right? Yeah, okay. So there's Hyperius. Here's his Ravager. As you notice, there's a peg on the back of this weapon, so you can plug it into the back of Master Chief or one of the Marines. Alright, I'm not 100% sure if I have this on right side up. For some reason, I think I have it upside down. Oh yeah, I had it upside down, okay. Alright, so there's his jump pack. Alright, so Hyperius seems to be about the same height as Tovaras. Like Sharam and Tovaras, his helmet comes off. He has a very nice, brutish face. Good paint application. There's some highlighting and shading around his cheekbones, forehead, and underneath his chin. Makes him look really, really intimidating. He kind of reminds me of the Grey Hulk from Marvel Comics. Really well done armor. His armor is nice and crisp in the details. A lot of hard edges, I can appreciate that. A lot of straps, panels. Yeah, nice figure. I like the asymmetry of his design too. How his left leg has this kind of armor piece above his thigh. Articulation wise, this guy's head rotates. Arm rotates. It goes out. Arm rotates, goes out. It's kind of cool. He has like a Spartan helmet, like attached to his armor. It's almost like a trophy. And he has a necklace. I can't tell what those are. Yeah, really cool figure. Liking this guy a lot. His legs kick up, double jointed knees. Oh, his arms, elbow bend, elbow swivel, wrist articulation, but it's kind of hindered by the palm guard in the front, or the knuckle guard, I mean. Ankle articulation, double pinned knees. He swivels at the waist and also underneath the chest. So he has 2 points of swivel in his torso. I believe Tovaras only had 1. Oh, I take it back. Tovaras has 2 points of swivel also. He swivels below the chest and also at the waist. Yeah, nice, cool, brutish character. I love the helmet design. And then he has his Ravager weapon. Now his fist, the plastic's very stiff, so trying to get this weapon in here is going to be kind of a challenge. So I'm just gonna avoid that for now. But yeah, very solid effort for both of these guys. Really impressed. Like the nice bulky figures. In our final look at this trios, we have Master Chief. So this Master Chief is kind of this... get him out first. So Master Chief is kind of this... It's almost like a very light, milky, clear blue plastic. And this is kind of him like when he's cloaked and in stealth mode. Very unique figure. I kind of would appreciate it if maybe it was a much more transparent plastic. But I guess, you know, this isn't bad. The details and the sculpting look really soft on this guy. I do like the weapon, though. It's kind of cool having his rifle in this kind of like cloaked mode also. There's a peg on the weapon, socket in the back, so you can easily store the weapon. Like that. Likewise, you know, you can take the Ravager, do the same thing. You know, peg it into his back. This is the same Master Chief that we've gotten time and time again, but the only thing different is casted in a different plastic with no paint application. Like the other Master Chiefs, his head rotates. You can look down, you can look forward, slightly look up. Cut underneath the chest line, so there's some movement there. Arms rotate, they go out, elbow bend, elbow swivel, wrist articulation. Knees kick forward, knees kick out, double pinned knees. Ankle articulation, and that's Master Chief. Let's take a look at him next to like a standard Master Chief, just so you get an idea of the color differences. Here's another Master Chief. As you can see, same identical figure, just casted in different plastic. Now, in terms of Hyperius and Tovaras, here's Isharam, the big baddie from Halo Infinite. As you can see, really impressive when you have all three of them next to each other. It's almost kind of like the Three Stooges, but just like bulked out in crazy armor. Yeah, I love these giant figures. They're awesome. Each one's very unique. Each one has different armor. I think I don't know if any of them, the only pieces it looks like they might share. I don't think there's any reuse here. I think each one is a completely unique sculpt. Even their feet are completely different. Yeah, really quality figures. Alright, so let's talk numbers. If I had to rate this figure set numerically, I'm going to say a 9. An even 9. I think this set's a must-buy, especially for these two characters. You know, Tovaras and Hyperius, they look amazing. They're bulky. They're really well detailed. And, you know, if you want to really build up your Banished or your Covenant army to look crazy, you know, you need these giant, bigger figures. The Master Chief's cool. I think it's kind of a fun bonus. Because in all honesty, I don't think they would have been able to pull off selling this figure solo on a card by itself. Especially when you can just buy a normal looking Master Chief. So I do think it's a nice bonus to get, you know, this figure with this set. The way I look at it is that these figures are so large that, you know, you're buying this set primarily for Tovaras and Hyperius. So this guy, I feel, is this kind of a bonus. For the price point, I think you're getting a lot of bang for your buck just because these are larger figures. And when you hold the box, you definitely feel the, you know, the weight difference as opposed to some of the other sets. So yeah, great set all around. I'm liking this a lot. Alright, let's wrap this video up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer or subscriber, thank you so much for your continued likes, comments, and support. I greatly appreciate it. So, until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, be happy, and, you know, just buy lots of toys, and I'll talk to you later. Later.